Welcome to Red Space. My name is not Chase Parrish. Let's go on a little walk, America. Do you have a moment for leisure? Do you not recognize me? Am I familiar? This alien force that has now come upon you is that for which I am deeply concerned. I ask you, who is this which is hindering you from ecstasy? What is this that is restraining you from euphoria? Aren't you aware that such a force would be far removed from any courts of enjoyment or pleasure or fulfillment which I alone have license to dispense in the here and now? Should you lay the charge to public health czars? Should you place the blame on civilians' incivility? No, not quite. We must widen the chides to God-shaped and God-sized conditions. His nature should be held in tribunal. Shall he not surrender heaven as a just retribution for his historical errors? As are all earthly governments correctly chastised for their grievances. Blame and curse God, but they blame me, don't they? I think that perhaps you and I have been together long enough, almost to discuss some accusations they have forged up upon my account. It's so like then to blame all the good that I've been doing for the sake of humanity. Kim Jong-un, Al-Assad, Benito Mussolini, Mao, Vladimir Lenin, Adolf Hitler. History writes such a miserable tale, such a bleak phantasmagoria for the children of men confessed in your places of learning and study. These men, these controversial periods to which they ascribe, were men just like you or I, each beguiled by the restraining force which compelled them to act in ways uncharacteristic of their nature. Oh, this old world system needs to be removed and to set in its place a world free of the restrictions that deprive men of their natural impulses and base instincts. This is where you may be of special interest, my friend. For these knights, controversial as though they may appear, each dreamed a dream, saw a vision of what could be. Won't you go with me over there, old friend? It's only up that hill, and yet still miles and miles to go. You do appear tired. Let us stop talking for now and allow you to rest. You have much to think about. Here, drink this, old friend. You look well rested. I never sleep. Too much to think about. Wars and rumors of wars. Many notions bounce around in such a heady chap like myself. But we must be on our way before day breaks and light gleams a path to walk therein. There is no time for meditation or thinking. I will do all of that for you. All of which you are required is to consume the scroll that I am unraveling. Let me redress the obstacles which have kept you from yielding all of yourself to one who never truly had your best interests at heart. He is the enemy I will be contending with now. Where was he when this life was passing you by? When you were at your lowest, when life took a turn for the worst? I have always been here. And now, if you will provide me a little bit of grace and space, I would like to present a little upsetment. Forgive me, old friend, but I do have resentment for the way you have treated me and the things you have said. That time you attended a gathering erected in his name. What about when you congregated in a study of his book? I told you it wouldn't do a thing. In itself it says it is dead. Trust me, I know more about that book than the greatest student could ever possibly devote himself to a studious discipline for a lifetime. I have been around since the beginning. People don't respect that. Where is my reverence? I have always been cast as an atrocious villain of sorts. Horror, terror, and a monster. Surely you don't think so, old friend. I, like you, am a victim of always being under his thumb. How I wish that you and I could return to the good old days in Egypt when life was simpler. Yet I'm kind and lovely and warm toward any who will take me in, especially the likes of you, if you will welcome me. I see you there, sitting between two poles. You are unsure of which path to take, which route to proceed, which flag to wave. I suppose it is better that you be a third-party voter than in going along with him. Permit the number of votes to swing to me. But if you once again reconvene our relationship, I will give you the world unparalleled by Nimrod, Nebuchadnezzar, Solomon, Caesar, Alexander the Great, Charlemagne, or any of the others, who saw, conquered, and extended their domain to its furthest possible reaches. You see, there happens to be no east or west poles, for they are only a direction and go on perpetually. So will you, old friend. Think about it. Become my defendant. You can reinvent my status upon a world stage that will have no limit to audience, attendance, and collective. Let us continue talking and walking. I see a twinkle in your eyes, the light of kindness in your demeanor toward me. I pray, not to him of course, but to myself alone, that there may be hope yet for you, old friend. I think that this walk is doing you good. I see your brain correctly assembling my ideas. It is not a fool I am who is able to conquer so many battles, rule so many kingdoms, and policy so many laws. Yet I still have the entire war to win. Ah, yes, we have just made it over this mountain. Now, do me a favor and gaze out upon this valley. What do you see, old friend? Many cities have been built. Transactions have been made. Battles have been fought on such a spot as this. There are places all over these four corners of the globe with the same breadth and width of space. Yet the earth does not die. The earth goes on. The earth continues living. You see, the earth must never die, and you and not either, if we marry ourselves to it, and not seek a world outside of its realm. Do you see what I am saying to you? This is where I have been cast by an angry man whose name I will never nor ever have uttered since the day I left in disgrace. Do you feel my agony? I have always desired to build something of great esteem, to have a destiny, to have a place. That one did not want me to succeed, to overcome, to be victorious, nor does he desire that you do either. Do you not see nor understand that we are both in a like predicament? We must each lift ourselves up. We may both be the heroes in our own story. We may both build our own empires as affronts to this megalomaniac dictator who desires to crush our dreams and not see our plans to become a reality. I charge you in my name, old friend. Do what thou wilt. He has already marked you as he has marked me, but I will become your partner to help you, to providing assets, property, resources, support, and a boot to stomp out of your way anyone who would ever dare to try and stop you. So, let us stroll gallantly on. We are growing near, I can feel it. It's even becoming rather warm, but ignore the heat. Do you understand me now? You sympathize, perhaps, because maybe you have been there too? I feel very familiar to you, no? Yes, we have in fact been friends for a long while. As I told you in the beginning, I was at your birth. You cried when you saw me. They all do. Now you see that I am not your enemy, but he is. Let us break off this restraining force that holds us in contempt and treats our dreams, our visions, as though they weren't worthy of his. See, I hate to go back, but something happened. It was a long while ago. It truly disrupted our fellowship, if you would ever have called it that. He took something from me, an ability to thrive and flourish. But now the only one that I really have left to advance with is you. You see, you still have a choice to make. I care about your living conditions and quality of life. It seems as if you look back through history, he had made a fool out of those who have chosen him. But that's something that I'm still in the business of, making your reputation safe, giving you economic security, making you a prosperous man. No telling what he may bring you through or do to you. be honest, I haven't the faintest idea why men still choose to follow him. There's more on my side than on his, that's for sure. And if this is anything like a democracy and how that works, look into it. I've already won the game. He was nervous having someone overqualified in tactics and disposition that might take his reins. I'm telling you, first I would have fired him and done things way differently, making a way bigger splash among my constituents and civilians. But dictator as he is, he thought he knew better. It is what it is. But I will not settle that is not what it can be or what it will be. I am plotting a revolution. Who do you think it was that came up with the notion in France or in Engels and Freud's minds, and now with the socialists in America? I am the original. The Enlightenment and the rational mind are enemies that the public should not become disquieted about yesterday. Don't you find it funny that the term insurrection is so close to the word resurrection? Stick around, old friend. We've only actually a few more miles to go before the next waterhole where you'll be able to take a drink. Not to worry, I will continue to care for you, and that's more than anyone can say about the likes of him. I mean, look at his planet, the speed with which the climate changes. We're going to have to do some political legwork there, you and I. Or the global food crisis, can you believe him? You'd think if he cared a bit, he would rid the world of poverty and lack. Or the suffering of little children. My old friend, we will take care of these and any other unresolved issues that sit at his desk unanswered by the prayers humanity sends to their gods while he is checked out on holiday. You must see now that a vote is deeper than just a candidate. Only those undergirding values which align either with his principles or mine. If you would only, my old friend, just suppress him and exalt me to my rightful place, I would give you the world without restraint. The social contract I must receive are your freedoms. It's an unequal trade, but whatever I may do to serve humanity in a better way than he ever could. I am very tired of seeing him make a mess of things when I could do a far grander job. You have to trust me now, old friend. After all this talking, I feel like we know each other inside and out. I've been very candid with you about everything. I've told you in the beginning I do not sleep. It is not that I do not have the ability, but as I briefed you before, there's just too much work to be done here, and I've only been allotted a period of time in which to do it. If you would help me, it would be so useful to building the kind of world we could both enjoy existing within. So I'll tell you what. I'll give it to you. This time I will sleep, and you can sleep too. And think long and hard about what I am saying to you. It will have eternal consequences. And I want you to know, I think we can win this thing. I'm rooting for you, old friend. I thought you would have never gotten up and walked with me at all, especially not as far as we've gone. I guess you are not captivated by my notions, even perhaps more so than his. Excellent selection, old friend. If you are actually opening up, I guess it must be because you have something in mind for yourself. For why else would you have chosen to follow me? The fools who go the other way have abandoned all their somethings. They don't care about living. Who has really made the better choice? Who is the one who really wins in this regard? Thus, my respect falls upon you, as you have taken life by the horns, acknowledging that you and only you can save yourself by lifting yourself up by your own bootstraps, by in fact giving yourself to me. Again, good selection, old friend. I dispense upon you all the world that you've ever wanted. It is yours for the taking. The rules will not apply to you anymore, nor will conscience or conviction restrain you from what is pleasing to the eyes. Let us raise our chalices to the light of perpetual glory. The way to transcendence never was for our kind. We choose to feast on the fields of eternal abundance, indulge in the human pleasure we were chastised to avoid, satiate ourselves with all the significances that we were instructed were vanity. Do what thou wilt, old friend. I think we'll have it made. The gods can no longer see. They have no ears. They cannot hear what men like us shall do in the dark. They surely can't, certainly must not. Humanity has voted. Suppress God, they say. Now he must leave. There is no room for him anymore in the end. Let us remember and believe that we have the way. Let us follow the feelings of enjoyment and pleasure and power and fame and things. Materialism was my idea. Secular humanism was my idea. The philosophers chose me when in the new science had wisely turned from the assembly of gathered ones toward wealthy patrons to further ambitious aims and intriguing works. Now for the auspicious occasion. Humanity has become so confused. They have run down so many bunny trails. They've spawned so many empires with leaders who swore that they had the way. They now have begun to lose faith in authority. They have begun to curse its magistrates. They have begun to shake their fists at the heavens. It is almost time to show myself. I am the only one who can turn this whole thing around, and turn it around I most certainly will. They will love me, but most importantly, they will love you, old friend. You didn't expect me not to reward your loyalties, did you? You have chosen the correct side. Now I will begin to prepare a place for you in my world. In the beginning I had said that only for a little while you would be able to experience all the gratifications of winsome youth, though perhaps now we're getting into trivialities, but my memory seems not to serve me too well these days at all times. I must be back and forth, and so I may be. Wait. Are you beginning to doubt? After all this, we are only less than a mile from our destination, and you're pulling back? It's too late, old friend. You must come with me. You are too far gone, too far in. Oh my, excuse my language once more. I appear to be using more forceful tones that are unbecoming. Don't let it negate any of my subsequent comments about trust. On the other hand, this deal never was about trust anyways. It was about you. It's always been about you. You chose to follow me, of your own free, autonomous, voluntary will. It was your independent decision. You cannot blame me at all. God is not to be blamed either, as I remember you not once nodding your head in agreement as I touted to curse him and die. But no, old friend. It is you. And one day, before too long, you will have to stand before him to give account. As I'd said, I know more about the book you were holding, which you set down and left when you came to follow me, than the most laboriously studious student could ever devote himself to in an entire lifetime. For me, however, this is not about you. It has never been about you. This is about him. I'm so angry, and although I know my punishment will be eternal and beyond words to describe or compare, I hate him more. I never was with you. I am a cursed foe, and now you are one too. Those fools who went the other way were smarter than you, for they will be in paradise, but you'll join me. Surely this world is the best you'll ever have. This is Red Space, and I am not Chase Parrish.